Hi, today we're going to answer the question, how do I keep myself safe from hackers when working from home? In this video, we'll review a few tips that will help keep you safe when working from home. Tip number 1, choose the way that you're going to protect the connectivity to your network. There are two ways of connecting to your network. The first is wired and the second is wireless. Let's take a look at a router slash switch slash access point, which is a device that a lot of people have in their homes. This device is actually three different devices in one. It's a switch, which allows computers to connect from the back with a cable. It's a wireless access point, which is what these antennas are for. And then it's also a router, which actually takes the traffic and routes it through to the internet. While this is three different devices in one, we'll just assume that you have the same type of device, which is wireless access point, switch, and router, and we'll just refer to this as the router going forward. The wired connection is the safest because in order to connect your computer to this device, you need to physically take a cable and plug it in to one of the ports that's available on the back of the router. While the wired connection is not convenient for connecting some mobile devices such as phones or Internet of Things devices, it is the safest way to connect to your network because for a hacker to be able to make the same type of connectivity, they would need physical access to this device. You also get the added benefit that it's much faster than wireless. You're going to have less interference issues because all of your data is traveling through this cable directly into your switch slash router. If physical connectivity is not an option, we highly recommend that you take a few steps to secure your wireless network. There are a few different security protocols for wireless networks. You've run into them and may not have understood what they are. So when you actually try to connect a device to a wireless network, you get prompted for a password. That password is protecting unauthorized access to the network. And then once somebody gets logged into the network, it also enables encryption of the data. So even if someone is snooping your packets, since it's going over radio waves, they wouldn't be able to read what's inside the packets because it's encrypted. There are a few different wireless security protocols, and over the year they've gotten better at increasing security. So we recommend that you do not use any of the legacy protocols. A good example of this is WEP. WEP is one of the first security protocols that people used commonly, and it is very susceptible to hacking. So if you know that your wireless network is using WEP, you'll want to change that to something like WPA2. WPA2 PSK is the modern day protocol that is used at home. There are some more advanced protocols used in the workplace, but this is probably the easiest one to deploy to protect your network. Okay, so let's say you've got your wireless network set up. It's got WPA2 PSK. Now, who should you share that key with? What we like to recommend is that you have multiple wireless networks that do not allow communication between the networks. So you've probably seen something like a guest network in public locations before. That means that the guest network cannot get to any of the resources on the private network. And that would prevent a hacker from getting on the guest network and making a connection into the private network where there are likely confidential resources. At the minimum, we recommend that you have a guest network where everyone who comes over your house, your relatives, anyone, you can share the key with them and they can get on the internet, but they cannot get onto any of your network resources privately. And then you'll have your private network, which would have any work resources, any of your computers, things like that. One major consideration is that Internet of Things devices are very susceptible to hacking, and if they don't need to be on the private network, put them on the guest network. Ideally, you would have a guest network, an Internet of Things network, and a private network. So for example, your sister comes over to your house and wants to get on the network. You give her the guest wireless key. Then you have an Amazon Fire Stick. You would put that on the Internet of Things network. And then you have your work computer and you would put that on your private network. Tip number 2, check with your company to determine what the policies are for storing data outside of a work computer so that if you are doing work on a home computer, that you are following the proper guidelines for storing that data. If someone were to hack your home computer, you might be liable to the company if there are any guidelines that you breached. Finally, if you have any other questions or would like us to expand on any of these subjects, please leave a comment or question in the comment section below or reach us through our website at intivix.com. Thanks.
you.